wasn't really sure whether to make this video. It kind of feels a bit self-indulgent, a bit, look at me, and it's hard because I'm not into that at all. I said I didn't want to create a blog channel as such, and I'd say when you're out in beef, it's so loud and everyone's looking at you. Beefcake literally goes, look at me. It's so loud, and I say sometimes I'm like a passenger trying not to catch people's eyes, a bit like I've done a fart in the lift or something. So yeah, so I wasn't sure whether to actually make this video at all, to be honest with you, but I thought I'd do it, and if I'm feeling confident, I'll stick it on the channel. I've got a quiet week or something. So I feel pretty lucky really to have the things I've got. So obviously I'm sat here in my very broken van in front of the very broken rat rod with a broken beetle at the garage. I believe Beefcake's working, which is kind of a bonus. But I'm really lucky to have that in my life, and I'm lucky to have fantastic family and friends, and be part of a really good local scene. And say I've got good friends which we've gone to the festivals and the pod and stuff together for years. It's really nice. I'm fortunate in that way. I think on a whole in the VW scene we're very, very lucky. Certainly at the minute we're kind of on a precipice of change with all the new global green agendas that are coming along. We're fortunate that tax is currently free in the UK, that car insurance for classics is next to nothing. It's today less than 100 quid for most classics now. Often it comes with being mid-age as well, which also helps. But we're lucky that the dubs we like, although they've gone up a lot in price in the last few years, they're still affordable in some way, to the point where they're now more precious, I guess, but they are still affordable, unless you're wanting a low light or a splitty or something. It's a bit more of a stretch, but we are lucky that they are achievable still. Also, it's nice that we can still buy petrol, don't you think? It's not going to be long before the price of petrol's banned or something. It's the future, isn't it? Let's face it. So I think at the minute we are fortunate where we are in the scene, and that there's enough of us left to still have festivals. So it's not just it's not like a lot of the classic car scenes are just a meet. They take the cars, they polish them, they stand them in a field, and everyone stands around and looks at them. And that's nice if that's your thing. But there's enough VWs and there's enough of the old feeling, enough of the old festival spirit to have festivals. So such as Bug Jam, obviously one of the big ones, and VW Action, and on all the rest. I think they've changed over the years. They've kind of tamed a bit as people have had kids, and the kids have grown up, and they now go. So maybe they'll go around again and get crazy again. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's nice that we can still have that alternate side to what we do. And generally, I think we just need to make the best of it now while we can. So I bought Beefcake with the help of my parents on the 18th in 1994. And that year I actually went to my first VW festival. And I remember driving in there, and there was there's lots of different people there, all different backgrounds, different cars. But one of the things I do remember in the field where we were, which was a huge field, but was the hippie guys. So there was the guys with the big long hair, some of them had dreadlocks, and they had all the tie-dye stuff on, proper hippie clothing, and they had the painted up vans. Even back then they looked a bit scabby, which was part of it. You know, lived in vans. And at 18 years old, and curtains, you know, I was into the Prodigy, not Bob Dylan, and they welcomed us in, and everyone came to talk to us on the field. We got to know all the people around us, and it was just a really outgoing, happy, friendly atmosphere. And that's the VW scene that I love, that drew me into it, and why I'm still here, I guess. And say when I go to festivals now, that's the scene I'm looking for. I'm looking for that people having a good laugh in the field, and one camp shouts at another camp, and they all shout back, and you know, it's all part of the fun, and everyone mingles and has fun and looks at everyone's cars, and it's awesome. It really is. And again, unless you're in that festival scene, you kind of miss it. You go into a classic car show, and that's a different thing completely in my eyes. I never expected though that I would become one of those older hippie guys with the longer hair. I don't do the tie-dye thing, but I certainly live by a lot of the old ethos of, you know, live and let live, peace and love and all that. You recycle everything, make everything last, fix what you can, good karma, karma goes a long way. And the things maybe you don't appreciate when you're younger so much. But yeah, I've become this this older hippie guy now with his hair, and it kind of never really designed that way. I was kind of going for a kind of a Kurt Cobain thing, and I got more of a Pete Stringfellow. So yeah, I don't know. All this talk of VW festivals and nostalgic stuff making me want a nice warm beer, maybe a pot noodle. Catch you shortly. Cheers. Warm beer. So, while we're talking about awesome people and new people went through the scene, I want to give a big thumbs up to Sharon. I hardly know Sharon. I met her a handful of times really, and she offered to finish my hippie transformation. And say I can't thank Sharon enough for it. So she spent a whole 13 hours on her feet sorting this mop of hair out for me. So Sharon, thank you very much. And if anybody's thinking about doing dreadlocks, I'm going to put a link to anything she wants to give me in the description below, so you can find a link to her Facebook page if she has one and stuff like that. So if you're in the Sheffield area, give her a buzz and she'll help you out. I was a little bit hesitant as when it was first offered, because if you look at the guys who tend to have dreads, like the ripped surfer dudes down in Cornwall, or the tall skinny guys who have 3 lentils for breakfast and go, oh, I'm so full. They're not full. Whereas I'm kind of like this big, swollen, pasty Yorkshire man who drinks stones and looks like he ate a couple of vegans for breakfast. I wanted to know a little bit more about dreads as well, so I kind of knew about the Rastafarian movement. I didn't know it started in like the 20s and 30s. And before that, there were the dreads, and they had the locks, hence dreadlocks. But it goes back thousands of years, back to the Egyptian times and the Nazarites. That means Jesus might have had dreadlocks. And got me a wobbly Jesus just to celebrate, so we're going to pop him in the van. Out the way, surfer dude, you ain't got the moves. Jesus is coming through. Oh yeah, shake that booty.